There's this one aspect of academia that I think is the most toughest to actually deal with, and this is you can do everything right in your mind. You could do all of the steps that you're supposed to do, and you still realize that people are going to discount you. You're not going to be good enough. You're not going to get through the various different thresholds that people imagine, and it has nothing to do with you. I think it's like the one crazy making aspect of it. It's because it's like this. So, in my view, and I'm not sure if it's correct, um, but in my view, I think it's one of these moments where all types of people kind of interact together, and people don't know how to situate and make sense of all of these different types of people in terms of what they're doing. And we have different classification schemes of what it means to do something of quality, of interest to other people. And it's very, very confusing in terms of those of us who are always trying to figure it out. I never know. And I've been doing this for so long that and deep down inside, I don't think I'm actually capable of this, and I don't think I should be doing this, but I don't know of any other opportunities, or I don't know of any other thing to turn to. So I just keep moving forward. And so, like, this is one of the things that is super fascinating. So there's that one aspect of it, and but here's the thing that's even more like just crazy making. That's the whole thing, right? Like if you were to look up, there's I think it's actually a psychological term, but it's just basically crazy making because you don't understand any of the processes, how they actually work, and there's a ton of arbitrariness to it. So what ends up happening is that you don't understand how things work, and there is no rhyme or reason often. It just sort of seems arbitrary, and frankly, it often is. So even when you make it to wherever it is that you want to make it to, you'll get there and you'll be like, hmm, I don't know if I actually deserve this. I don't know if this is right for me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it's so crazy making. I think anybody that, yeah, I'm not sure of too many other careers that are like that in terms of yeah, it's never clear in terms of you doing the right thing and that it's actually going to equal to the right, to the outcome, right? You could put in all of this work and nothing's going to come of it. So a lot of people, an extraordinary number of people get burnt out and they leave. If you start looking at the numbers, just aggregate numbers, I'm not saying any particular place, I'm just saying, aggregate numbers, it's like 50% of PhD programs just leave, people that are in them. And then in the academic game, very few people actually keep going with it. Very few people keep going with doing research and taking those steps forward. At least in there's different disciplines or sort of disciplinary effects that happen that are a little bit different. The hard sciences tend to create more reinforcement, but there's still that ambiguity that happens compared to the social sciences. Um, and all of this is just to say that if you're in it and you're doing the right thing, just keep doing the right thing, right? Like ignore any of the feedback that gets into your mind. So for me, that's the reason why I started building the reciprocity project. Was like, okay, how do we make this more explicit so it becomes easier to understand whether you're actually making progress or not? We often don't know. Um, and that is part of the crazy making aspect of it, right? Is to remove as much as that ambiguity as much as possible. I think um, what you'll begin to understand with it is that regardless of that, the walking forward, regardless of that, don't pay attention to the outside world is like the key thing. I think entrepreneurship is a close second in terms of the crazy making aspect of it, because you're trying to figure out without guidelines often of what sort of catches. Um, but all of it is just you, and the only thing that I can say is just keep walking forward. I think like that is, I wish that there was something else. I wish that there was this one secret way, but there's not. There's not a secret way. You'll continue to be discounted for the rest of your life. You will forever kind of feel like you're out of place. I've done this for so many years now that I know it's just part of my life, and it's grueling, right? Like it's very difficult to deal with that in terms of processing it and how do I deal with this? Because my mind, your mind when you're working, you kind of do what is natural, um, as a rational person does. You sort of try to think about, strategize where to go to and what to do next and all that kind of stuff, and you realize that there is no strategy. There's no right way of doing things. People say that, but often they are forgetting about all of the other effects, you know, that they're endowed with and part of, and it's like that with everything, right? It's like if you talk to an athlete, a world-class Olympic athlete, they just say, "Well, I just trained really hard." No, like there is a lot of effects that were behind it. You had supportive parents that would drive you everywhere. You probably had maybe a single parent or a single, um, likely, I'm not just saying it's just likely that it may be a mom that would drive you around, um, that you had somebody to support you along the way, that there's all these things. You are also likely gifted with something that is unusual and weird, that is not just about training, right? And there's all these kind of things that you don't understand that are outside of that rational thought and that sort of the way that we think about things. And you simply just have to say, the only way that I can make a difference is I keep taking steps forward, even though I don't want to and I don't understand it. And I'm just going to keep trying every day. And that's it. I know it's frustrating. I know you don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I wish that there was a better way. I don't know of any strategy. I study strategy. Now I realize that's part of the reason why I study it, is because I realize most of the stuff we understand about strategy and all that kind of stuff just doesn't make sense and it doesn't apply. Um, and the only thing you can do is just keep taking those steps every single day. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.